At just 18 years old, Marie Osmond quietly reached a point where she almost gave up on everything. And the world had no idea until decades later. The girl America thought had everything was fighting battles no one could see. Behind the stage lights, the million-dollar smile, and the hit records lies a lifetime of heartbreak, resilience, and quiet reinvention. Today, we uncover the untold truths of Marie Osmond's journey. Truths that challenge everything we thought we knew about her, and lead to one of the most surprising choices she's made at 65. Here's a question for you. Which public figure's real life turned out completely different from what you imagined? Drop their name in the comments, and let's see who surprises us the most. How does a toddler end up carrying the weight of a family's fame? At just 3 years old, Marie was performing alongside her brothers on national television. To the public, she was the bubbly little sister everyone adored. But behind that smile was a child learning early that perfection wasn't optional. It was expected. Childhood became a stage, and emotions had to be carefully edited. Fame doesn't cancel out fear. If you find yourself always on, ask who you're performing for and why. In February 2010, tragedy struck. Marie's son, Michael, passed away at only 18 under deeply heartbreaking circumstances. The shock was immediate, but the pain was unending. She went on stage just days later, keeping her composure for the audience, but privately, she was drowning in grief. The world often applauds strength without realizing it can be a mask. Grief hides behind rehearsed smiles. Don't mistake composure for healing. Reach out, even when someone looks fine. In her 20s, Marie faced ruthless pressure to maintain a perfect image. A television executive told her she was too heavy to be on screen, despite being underweight. That moment triggered years of disordered eating and self-criticism. She learned that in the entertainment industry, your worth could be measured in pounds. Image became her enemy. Reject standards designed to break you. They're not built for your well-being. After the birth of her first child, Marie vanished for days. Later, she revealed she had been battling postpartum depression, at a time when few even recognized the condition. Instead of compassion, she faced criticism and confusion from the public. No one asked if she was okay. We need to normalize maternal mental health conversations. Silence breeds shame. Growing up in a devout religious household, Marie was taught that mental struggles were best met with faith, not professional help. Therapy was frowned upon, seen as a sign of weakness or lack of belief. This cultural barrier delayed her healing for years. Belief clashed with reality. Faith and therapy are not enemies. Both can be powerful tools for recovery. The Donnie and Marie show was a sensation, but for Marie, it was also a hiding place. Singing and smiling on camera kept her pain out of view. But once the lights went out, the loneliness crept back in. Work became her armor. If your job is your only refuge, it's time to ask what you're protecting yourself from. Her marriage to basketball player Stephen Craig ended in 1985. Years later, she remarried another man, divorced again, and then, surprisingly, married Craig a second time. Fans didn't understand it, but Marie simply said, "Sometimes life comes full circle." Love isn't always linear. Your relationship choices are yours to own. Public opinion isn't the judge. Marie refused to compromise her values for Hollywood. She turned down photo shoots and interviews that required her to be overly sexualized or gossip about others. Producers told her she was too nice for show business, a backhanded compliment that cost her work. Kindness cost her fame. Staying true to yourself might close doors, but the wrong doors. In a candid interview, Marie admitted that at 18, she checked into a hotel, feeling completely hopeless and believing she couldn't go on. The emotional weight was unbearable, and the loneliness suffocating. But in that darkest moment, something shifted, giving her a reason to keep going. Hope arrived in the quietest moment. Even the strongest people need lifelines. Be one for someone today. With 8 children, both biological and adopted, Marie faced judgment for her parenting choices, sometimes from strangers, sometimes from the press. Yet, she fiercely protected her kids from the spotlight, determined not to let fame rob them of a normal childhood. She mothered in a world that judges every move. Respect parents' decisions. You rarely see the full story from the outside. If this deeper look into Marie Osmond's life resonates with you, hit subscribe and join us each week. We share powerful human stories the headlines never tell. In 2020, Marie announced she would not be leaving her fortune to her children. Critics were stunned, but she explained it was about encouraging them to work hard and build their own success. She wanted them to build, not inherit. True wealth is the ability to create, not just to receive. Marie's niece, the adopted daughter of her brother, passed away unexpectedly in circumstances too heartbreaking to imagine. A tragedy the family kept private for years. The silence was meant to protect, but it also reinforced the stigma around mental health. The silence was louder than the tragedy. Speak openly about mental health in your family. Secrecy keeps wounds from healing. Traveling the world, performing to sold-out audiences, Marie should have felt fulfilled. Yet the applause faded quickly, replaced by quiet hotel rooms and endless flights. The irony of fame is that it can make you more isolated than ever. Success is not the same as support. Check on those who seem to have everything. Loneliness doesn't discriminate. Bankruptcy rumors, career slowdowns, personal loss, Marie has faced them all. Each time she reinvented herself, moving from music to acting, from TV to entrepreneurship. She learned how to survive without applause. She learned to rise without applause. Your comeback doesn't need an audience, it needs your commitment. From children's hospitals to addiction recovery centers, Marie has quietly donated millions. She rarely publicizes these acts, believing generosity should come from sincerity, not spotlight. She gave from scars, not surplus. The most impactful kindness is often the kind no one sees. Marie has said that singing has saved her more times than she can count. It became her therapy, her safe place, and her way to process pain. She sang through the storms. Find your outlet. It could be the lifeline that gets you through. Rather than abandoning her religion after all she endured, Marie reshaped her relationship with it. She now speaks openly about integrating mental health support within faith communities. She turned pain into purpose. Your struggles can inspire change in the very spaces you once felt constrained. At 65, Marie Osmond's story isn't simply one of hardship, it's one of transformation. She has lived through public and private storms and emerged wiser, more grounded, and unafraid to speak her truth. She's still standing, stronger, wiser, unapologetic. If she can endure and evolve, so can you. Marie Osmond's life proves that behind the glitter, there's grit. Behind the applause, there's resilience. And behind every tragedy, there can be a second act. In our next story, we uncover another icon's hidden journey and the single choice that changed everything.